The film begins in an arts high school where many talented students compete to become idols. Many former students from this school have become famous artists. At this school, there is a shy student named Dong-kyu who often sits alone in the cafeteria because he has no friends. He is also often teased by other students, like today. Fortunately, a student named Yeji steps in and stops the bullying. Yeji is very popular and from a high-status family, so the bullies don't dare to fight back. After stopping the bullying, she takes a selfie with Dong-kyu and posts it on her social media, saying they are friends. After that, Yeji leaves. The other students are surprised by this, and suddenly Dong-kyu has many new friends. This happens because Yeji is very popular and her social status is very influential at the school. However, she helped Dong-kyu because of a business thing where he wanted to improve his social status with her help. After their project succeeded, they didn't stay friends and went their separate ways. Meanwhile, in another part of the school, there is a student named Soo-bin who is very good at playing the piano. He is handsome and talented, so many girls like him. However, Soo-bin has a rival named Da-won, a girl who is a bit nerdy and comes from a wealthy family. Da-won works very hard in her piano lessons so she can compete with Soo-bin. Eventually, she becomes as good as Soo-bin, and they both get an award for being outstanding students. On the other hand, Yeji has a special look in her eyes when she sees Soo-bin, and he responds with a sweet smile. There are rumors that they are dating because Soo-bin seems to care a lot about Yeji, more than just as a friend. However, Yeji seems upset because Soo-bin is too caring. She is still hurt by her past feelings for him. Then, Yeji started to remember the past. She and Soo-bin were friends since they were kids because they grew up in the same neighborhood. Back then, Soo-bin looked like an ordinary boy, but as a teenager, he became very handsome, and Yeji started to like him. When Soo-bin moved to SM High School, he was already popular, while Yeji was just an ordinary girl. One day, she was walking with Soo-bin and his friend Ji-yuk. There, Yeji asked Ji-yuk to do a live stream showing how close she was with Soo-bin. She was nervous about holding his hand, but suddenly, Soo-bin grabbed her hand, making the moment romantic. At that time, many people watching the live stream commented, supporting their closeness. Now, back in the present, Yeji and Soo-bin have been friends for 10 years, but they are not a couple. Yeji is affected by Soo-bin's attention, but she pretends to ignore it. Meanwhile, Da-won noticed how close Yeji and Soo-bin are. And Da-won, feeling jealous of Yeji's beauty, tries to dress up to look pretty. However, she still feels insecure about her appearance. The next day at school, Yeji and Soo-bin are seen talking. At that time, she plans to tell Soo-bin about her feelings when they meet in the park after school. Finally, they meet in the park, and Yeji bravely tells Soo-bin that she loves him and wants to be his girlfriend. Soo-bin is surprised and says he can't answer her feelings right now. However, Yeji feels like Soo-bin is hiding something. As time passed, Yeji and Soo-bin met again in the park. At first, she was happy because Soo-bin still seemed to care about her. But suddenly, Soo-bin said that he rejected her love and chose Da-won as his girlfriend. He also said that he only saw Yeji as a younger sister. At that time, Yeji couldn't believe what she was hearing. That evening, Yeji was sad and kept thinking about what had happened. Her memories with Soo-bin felt ruined. The next day, Yeji and Soo-bin met again, and it was awkward, especially when Da-won was around. There, Yeji realized that Soo-bin and Da-won were hiding their relationship. In class, Yeji felt jealous seeing how close they were. Then, Yeji started comparing herself to Da-won. She thought that Da-won being quiet, very smart, and good at playing the piano made Soo-bin like Da-won more than her. In the bathroom, Yeji met Da-won. There, Da-won thanked her, which annoyed Yeji, and she quickly left. After some time, the school was buzzing with excitement because Dong-kyu got a contract to appear in an advertisement. Even though at the beginning, Dong-kyu was seen as a geeky student, he suddenly became famous thanks to her help. All his classmates happily congratulated him. When he returned to the dormitory, Dong-kyu met his roommate, Shan-jae, a talented music student and transfer student. However, Shan-jae often skipped school and preferred to be alone. Dong-kyu told Shan-jae to go to school so he wouldn't get expelled. He also mentioned that he was going to debut as an advertising star. But Shan-jae got very angry after hearing Dong-kyu's story because he felt bothered. In the evening, When Dong-kyu was about to debut as an advertising star, the agency canceled the contract, saying that his appearance was not attractive enough. The next day, Yeji and her friend Sena accidentally met Soo-bin and Da-won at a cafe. Sena was surprised to see Da-won secretly with Soo-bin, while Yeji, feeling jealous, immediately left. Soo-bin chased after her. But after catching up with Yeji, Soo-bin had to let her go because Da-won saw them. In the end, Soo-bin walked back with Da-won. Yeji was annoyed by their relationship and surprised by Soo-bin's changes. Finally, Yeji decided to make a plan. Sometime later, Sanjay found out that someone had uploaded his photo with a message saying he was looking for a missing person. Soon after, his phone started receiving lots of messages from various agencies. Sanjay is actually very popular but prefers to stay private. Meanwhile, news of Dong-kyu's failed debut spread around the school, and he started getting bullied again by students who didn't like him. Luckily, Sanjay stepped in to help Dong-kyu. Later, Sanjay met Yeji and discovered that she was the one who uploaded his photo. There, he told her to delete the photo from her social media, but Yeji refused. This made Sanjay angry, and he called Yeji trash because she made money by offering services to boost social status. At that time, all the students around were shocked to hear this. However, Dong-kyu defended Yeji, saying he was very grateful for her help. He explained that before her help, he was just a neglected student, but she made him happy, even if it was only for a short time. The situation calmed down when their teacher arrived. Yeji and Sanjay were called to the teacher's office. There, Sanjay was scolded for missing school often, and the teacher asked what was going on between them. Yeji explained that they were just arguing because they were going to participate in an upcoming arts festival. Yeji said that Sanjay would be her partner because the festival required at least 2 people to participate. This was all part of her plan. While outside of school, Sanjay told Yeji to delete the photo, but she refused because she had planned this and knew about Sanjay's talent. They argued, and Yeji kept pushing him to be her partner for the festival. Meanwhile, Soo-bin was seen entering a bar where he worked as a band player. The bar owner liked his piano playing. After his performance, Soo-bin met the bar owner to get his salary and asked for cash instead of a bank transfer because he had faked his identity. If Soo-bin admitted he was a high school student, he couldn't work at the bar. He kept this job a secret because he really needed money. His family was poor and in debt, so he had to work hard to earn money. The next day, Yeji came to Sanjay and kept inviting him to go to school. However, Sanjay refused, but Yeji didn't give up. Every day, she tried to convince him to be her partner at the festival. After some time, Yeji managed to bring Sanjay back to school. However, when they got to the front of the school, Sanjay wanted to skip, so they ended up skipping school together. Meanwhile, Soo-bin and Da-won were practicing piano at school for the festival. Other participants, including Sena and Ju-yuk, were also practicing. Elsewhere, Yeji is trying to convince Sanjay to be her partner, which makes him nervous. There, Yeji says she wants to prove her talent to everyone, but her real reason is to compete with Da-won and Soo-bin. On registration day, Sanjay finally showed up on time, surprising all the students. However, everyone was even more surprised by a video showing Soo-bin and Kim, revealing they are officially a couple. Soon after, Da-won sent the video because she didn't want to hide her relationship with Soo-bin anymore. At that time, Soo-bin stayed silent and couldn't do anything, while Yeji looked very surprised. Shortly after, Sanjay saw Soo-bin leaving the classroom, clearly annoyed by what happened. Soo-bin then remembered the past. At the beginning of the first semester, Yeji was already popular and friends with Soo-bin and Ju-yuk. Da-won liked Soo-bin but kept it a secret. She asked Yeji for help by writing a letter and leaving it in Yeji's locker. In the letter, Da-won said she wanted to be friends with Yeji to get to know Soo-bin better. On the other hand, a letter from Da-won asking Yeji for help was also discovered by Sena. Sena wanted to be friends with Yeji to join her group. She even gave Yeji some money, eventually raising her social status and becoming part of Yeji's group. After that, Yeji received many letters in her locker from students asking for help to improve their social status. As time went by, Da-won kept paying attention to Soo-bin and found out he needed money to pay for school. Da-won offered to help him, but Soo-bin refused. Eventually, Soo-bin started working at a bar, and Da-won found out. She used this as a threat telling Soo-bin she would keep it a secret if he became her boyfriend. In that moment, Soo-bin faced a dilemma because he didn't want Yeji and her friends to find out his secret. Soon after, Soo-bin went to Doan's house to refuse her conditions. However, Daewon secretly recorded their meeting and claimed they were already dating. She sent this video to the whole school. Besides that, she transferred some money to pay for Soo-bin's schooling. Back to the present, Soo-bin was forced to become Daewon's boyfriend, and Yeji noticed because of the change in his attitude. Soon after, the participants returned to practicing for the upcoming festival. At that time, Soo-bin and Daewon were playing the piano together, but he started to feel uncomfortable around Daewon. Meanwhile, Yeji and Sanjae were arguing about which song to perform, as she was the singer and Sanjae was the musician. At the same time, Jihyuk was also practicing hard to get Sana's attention. As time went on, Yeji and Sanjae became closer, and Sanjae started to like Yeji. During one practice, Sanjae suddenly told Yeji that he liked her. This surprised and made her nervous, so she left. On the other hand, Soo-bin was sad because he couldn't quit his job and he really liked Yeji. However, he was trapped by Daewon's threat. Shortly after, Yeji tried to call Soo-bin, but Daewon answered the phone, so she gave up on talking to Soo-bin. The next day, Daewon changed her appearance and caught the attention of all her classmates. At the same time, Sana was happy because she got a scholarship and told her classmates about it. Surprisingly, Daewon claimed that it was thanks to her help, as her parents were very influential in the school foundation. Upon hearing that, Sana was shocked by this revelation. Then, Daewon started showing her true self to become popular at school like Yeji. Sana felt humiliated by Daewon in front of their classmates and got angry. But then, Yeji stopped the argument and Sana chose to leave the class. After that, Yeji invited Sana to play games and chat outside the class. There, Yeji asked about Soo-bin, but Daewon said that Yeji didn't need to worry because she didn't understand anything about Soo-bin, and Daewon would always be by Soo-bin's side. This annoyed Yeji because she felt Daewon was hiding something. Seeing Daewon's cunning behavior, Yeji left. Meanwhile, Sana was still upset about what happened in class and met Jihyuk. Noticing that Sana was upset, Jihyuk tried to cheer her up, which made her feel a bit better. In the evening, Daewon was seen calling her father, saying she needed help. The next day, the festival began, and the participants were present. However, Soo-bin hadn't arrived, which made Daewon worried. Yeji was also worried about Soo-bin, and Sanjae felt jealous. Finally, Yeji and Sanjae went on stage. Yeji started singing while Sanjae played the piano. The students enjoyed Yeji's performance. Suddenly, a conversation was heard over the sound system, revealing the secret about her business of helping students improve their social status. This caused a lot of gossip among the students. It turned out that Daewon was behind this, and everyone started talking about it. Yeji tried to stay calm and approached Daewon. But then, Soo-bin arrived and stopped Daewon, asking to speak with her alone. There, Soo-bin told Daewon that he liked her piano playing but didn't like her bad behavior. He hoped she could change her ways. Soo-bin then said goodbye to Daewon, saying they would never meet again. Elsewhere, Sanjae meets Yeji to comfort her. Sanjae tells her again that he really loves her, but Yeji doesn't respond. At the same time, he sees them together and feels jealous. In the afternoon, Soo-bin calls Yeji to meet at their usual spot. Soon after, she meets him in the park, and Soo-bin honestly tells her that he was having financial problems. Daewon offered to help him, but only if he dated her. However, he decided to break up with Daewon and wanted to be free from her. Hearing this, Yeji understands why he had been acting sad. As time goes by, news spreads that Soo-bin has dropped out of school. This makes Yeji confused about her feelings, as he suddenly disappears from her life. On the other hand, Daewon becomes more popular at school, which annoys Sana. One day, Sana meets Daewon outside the classroom and tells her that she didn't expect Daewon's true character to be so bad. This leads to an argument where Daewon loses her temper and says she knows about Sana's personal problem of not having a family, comparing her to Soo-bin, who didn't thank her for her help. Suddenly, Yeji arrives and slaps Daewon. There, Yeji tells her to stop being arrogant and looking down on others, saying that she can help people in a good way. Hearing this, Daewon regrets her actions. Summer vacation arrives, and Yeji is busy with live streaming on her social media. One night, Yeji sees Sanjay playing the piano in a cafe. At that time, she moved by the song Sanjay is playing, as it reminds her of her time with Subin. Turns out Subin also comes to the event, meets Yeji, and holds her hand tightly. And Sanjay saw them together. The film ends. The moral lesson from this film is sometimes, trying too hard to be popular can make things super complicated. So just be yourself and avoid drama. And remember, it's better to help people nicely than to slap sense into them.